Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is TVS News at 5 with me, Muhammad Yusuf, and let us begin with our top story for today. The new SEMARIANG Islamic Cemetery Complex, or SICC, officiated earlier today, provides convenience for funeral arrangements for the Muslim community. The 5.6 million ringgit facility are equipped with funeral management facilities, prayer rooms, multi-purpose rooms, restrooms, parking spaces and other amenities.
Yang telah dibangunkan oleh lembaga masjid untuk masyarakat Islam di kawasan perkuburan SEMARIANG. Alhamdulillah kita telah dapat membangunkan bangunan ini yang belanjanya lebih kurang 56 juta. Bagi kita memberikan kemudahan kepada masyarakat Islam. Mereka agak selesa di dalam usaha kita menguruskan perkuburan dan mungkin pengurusan jenazah hendaklah dilaksanakan secepat mungkin termasuk waktu malam, maka kita mempunyai semua kemudahan yang dapat membantu dalam urusan perkuburan.
Abang Johari said this in his speech when launching the SICC on Friday, March 31st. Previously, the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the Sarawak State Mass Welfare Trust, Dato' Abang Abdul Wahab Julius, said the cemetery will be open to the public 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The groundbreaking ceremony was performed by the Deputy Minister for Utilities and Communications Sarawak, Dato' Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, on 22nd December 2020.
A new plot of land to expand the SICC has been approved by the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. He said the new land situated behind the cemetery could accommodate future demand of the SICC by 2050.
Di kawasan SEMARIANG ini untuk kita besarkan kubur. InsyaAllah ini akan dapat digunakan, yang saya tahulah, sampai 2050 pada masa 20.
Furthermore, he also revealed that the Sarawak government is identifying potential sites for cemeteries statewide.
Kalau di sini sangat padat dekat Masjid Adil, maka kita sudah ada kawasan yang baru dan untuk kita tempatkan satu kawasan perkuburan kita. Begitu juga dengan ini.
Meanwhile, Abang Johari calls on all parties to assist in the preservation of this cemetery.
Kita menggunakan cara baru semua. Api kita, kubur kita pasang api. Dia macam taman. Memanglah kalau kita pakai kepasang air bil elektrik mahal. Ini itu kita pakai solar. Betul ada situ. Kita gunakan solar untuk kubur kita. Ini adalah cara baru. Dan solar itu mesti kita maintain. Jadi kita minta pakar-pakar kita, anak-anak Islam yang sudah berjaya di dalam pengajian solar untuk membantu sedikit-sedikit membantu untuk kita waktu lapang bersama dengan masjid untuk membersihkan solar.
Sarawak's Ministry of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development has expressed interest in studying child poverty indicators provided by the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, or UNICEF, to improve services. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, stated that studying the indicators will help determine the position of Sarawak's children, as child poverty encompasses many factors beyond just monetary measures.
Yang itu yang hendak kita belajar dan kita hendak tahu what are the indicators for child poverty, supaya kita bila kita nanti buat satu kajian, ya, kita akan dapat lihat di mana kedudukan anak-anak children in Sarawak ini, supaya dari data yang diperoleh itu kita dapat tambah baik perkhidmatan yang kita berikan. Is it under education, is it under health kah yang patut kita beri lebih perhatian lagi, ya. We want to make sure that based on the needs tu nanti, ya, yang telah diperolehi daripada kajian itu, kita pastikan bahawa bantuan diberi, ya, program diadakan berdasar kepada keperluan yang telah kita perolehi melalui data.
The ministry will work with UNICEF to collect the necessary data, with funding already approved for the initial data collection. Fatima was speaking to reporters after receiving a courtesy call from UNICEF Malaysia at Baitul Makmur complex on Friday, March 31st. Meanwhile, UNICEF Malaysia Chief of Social Policy Dr. Juanita Vasquez Escalon said the call was to determine how the two parties could improve their cooperation.
We are tying up the areas of collaboration, setting up integrated CASHLESS program, the development of the identification of different areas of child poverty, and indigenous preschool learning. We look forward to this collaboration starting and continuing for the rest of the remaining of this year and next year.
On to our next news item. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria arrived at the Federal Territory of Labuan for a 3-day visit. Their Majesties were given a grand welcome upon arrival at the Labuan Airport at 11 a.m, received by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Dr. Muhammad Naim Mokhtar.
Al-Sultan Abdullah is scheduled to open the Al-Sultan Abdullah Mosque at Kampong Sungai Bedaun and then perform Friday prayer at the mosque. Meanwhile, on Saturday, the king is scheduled to witness the presentation of the Federal Territory Islamic Religious Council Asnaf Home at Taman Ganggerak, Permai.
Malaysia will not allow any big power to dictate its decision and future direction. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim asserted that as a free and independent state, Malaysia will defend its sovereignty and decide what is best for the country.
Why we need to rewrite history, or what we term as the reconstruction of history. Because in the past, it's only the West that excelled.
He said this in a response to a question on the China-US rivalry during a public lecture at the renowned Tsinghua University in Beijing earlier today. The Prime Minister, who is currently on his maiden official visit here this week, said he has been seen as pro-China, but as a trading nation, he said Malaysia wants to build excellent relationships with all countries, including China and the United States. He said Malaysia does not see China as a competitor nor a threat, although there may be some disagreements between the two countries.
Welcome back. Award-winning actress Gwyneth Paltrow has won a countersuit against a former optometrist who sued her for more than $300,000. The retired eye practitioner Terry Sanderson filed the case after he suffered a traumatic brain injury, or TBI, and 4 broken ribs when he and Paltrow collided at a ski slope in 2016. Paltrow did not suffer any major injury from the incident, and at the end of the trial, however, the 8-person jury sided with Paltrow, ruling that Sanderson was 100% guilty and awarded the actress the $1 in symbolic damages that she had asked for the countersuit.
Terry Sanderson at fault? Yes. Was Terry Sanderson's fault a cause Gwyneth Paltrow's? Did Terry Sanderson's fault cause Gwyneth Paltrow's harm? Yes. Comparative fault. What % of the fault do you assign to Terry Sanderson? 100%. Damages. What amount fairly compensates Gwyneth Paltrow for economic damages? $1. Signed March 30th, 2023.
During the trial, 76-year-old Sanderson said that Paltrow had skied out of control when she hit him from the back and sent him flying on a hill at Deer Valley Resort. This was backed by Sanderson's friend who saw the incident. Paltrow, on the other hand, had told the court that she was skiing with her 2 children when suddenly 2 skis came between her skis and forced her legs apart, and that there was a body pressing against her, accompanied with a very strange grunting noise. They both then fell to the ground with Paltrow on top of Sanderson and held no accountability of any harm that had affected Sanderson's health tremendously.
On to our final item of the day. Evacuation order in Minnesota has been lifted after authorities detected no environmental safety issues after a freight train carrying ethanol derailed on Thursday, March 30th. Earlier, the derailed train had caught fire, forcing some residents to evacuate in the town of Raymond, Minnesota. And fortunately, no injuries were reported.
The evacuation order was lifted by the Kandiyohi County Sheriff's Office, which also said there was no impact to groundwater. BNSF said groundwater is unaffected by the incident and the air monitoring indicates no detectable levels of concern. Meanwhile, the U.S. National Transportation Safety Road and the Federal Railroad Administration are still investigating. BNSF, which is owned by Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated, said earlier that approximately 22 cars carrying mixed freight, including ethanol and corn syrup, were reported derailed with 4 cars that had caught fire. In February, the derailment of a freight train operated by Norfolk Southern released more than 1 million gallons of hazardous materials and pollutants into the environment around the town of East Palestine, Ohio. The incident prompted a lawsuit from the state, congressional hearings, and investigations by U.S. agencies. That episode drew new attention to derailments and prompted calls to toughen U.S. laws and regulations. There are roughly 1,000 U.S. train derailments annually.
That's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. My name is Mohammed Yusuf. Thank you for watching and Assalamualaikum.